An entertaining first 45 minutes has ended at the Akun Park, where Medeama have not been able to put in the ball in the back of Hartlepool, and Hartlepool have also not found the back of the net. But these are the halftime statistics there. 50-50 each. That means it is a balanced game, but one shot on target for Medeama and one for Hartlepool as well. 4 corners went the way of the Phobians, and Medeama did not have any corner in the first half. But Medeama were flagged offside twice and committed 11 fouls to Hartlepool's 10. One yellow card was also flashed against Medeama, and Hartlepool were not given any yellow card, but no red cards in this game. And the most important statistics in football is the scoreline. It is goalless at the break. So the second half promises to be interesting. My name is Mutale Yakubu. You're still watching StarTimes Adepa Channel 247. Still here with Francis Aboyibo Blackgate and of course Josiah Okokwe. Francis, first 45 minutes, it's been quite entertaining, but we've not seen the teams do too much, especially in the final third.
Yeah, just like the coach, the assistant coach of Hartlepool said in his press match conference, he said they are here to sit, soak the pressure, get the ball, hit Medeama on the break. And in that first 45 minutes, they did that. That's the reason why you could tell that Hartlepool were reduced to just set pieces, free kicks on one occasion. You look at this boy, Salif Ibrahim, with that beautiful free kick that just rattled the top of the distance, the nets, the crossbar. Aside that, Hartlepool themselves have not created anything decent enough to be able to break the distance, the deadlock in this game. And you look at the other flip side, the home team, I don't know whether they are frustrated because the only player trying to show something out there is Osa Bernardino. He's trying to take the game to Hartlepool from the wings. You look at Michael Enu in central midfield trying to battle it out with Glido Tanga on some occasions. So it's basically the ball has played in the center of the park. But in terms of creating clear-cut chances in attacking third for both teams, they've not been able to do that against each other. And when you don't do that, you don't get the opportunities to score enough goals. I understand the frustrations of the two strikers in both. And you look at Hamza Issa, he sometimes has to drop deep into midfield to be able to carry the ball because staying up there, he's being starved of services and he's not getting enough of the services to be able to trouble the Medeama backline. So if you look at the game itself, you could tell that it has been a midfield battle in that first 45 minutes. But in terms of creating chances, there has not been anything at premium that both teams have created for the two strikers.
Josiah, your assessment of the first half. Look at the Hartlepool team, and they seem to lack a bit of creativity. Everything is on the shoulders of Salif Ibrahim there. It's not really working for them.
I just believe they've been the better of the two sides in the first 45. They've played a better football. They've possessed the ball, better than the home side, Medeama. But then what's been lacking, is that entry into the box. That's what they've lacked. They've had the likes of Amankwa Befi, Salim Adams, and co trying to progress the ball into the attacking third. But then how to get the ball in the box, that has been the real problem for me. And you can count the number of touches Hamza Issa has already had in the Medeama box. It's just a handful. It means there's something missing. The idea to go with, let's say the small ball, going with a set of, diminutive attackers, had paid off in terms of the way they want to play. But then the all-important thing for Hartlepool now is to put the ball at the back of the net. And there's a time you'd be thinking that maybe having Kasim Cisse on the pitch, would really help them because he's a bulky, very rugged, tall attacker. And that's the time you believe that Hartlepool could be, flying in those balls to him. But then for now, I think the defensive pair of Kofi Asma and also Kobina Amwa have really done a good job on Hamza Issa. They've tried to, cut all supplies to Hamza Issa. And sometimes they have to force him a bit wide. And you can see that Hamza Issa at some point is the one trying to progress the ball into the penalty box for Hartlepool. For Medeama, they've not really impressed me so far. It was just in the first 5 minutes that we saw them, just pressure Hartlepool, try to pin them back a bit. But then since then, it looks like Hartlepool, they have really managed the game so well. They know, when to attack. They know how to pass the ball around. And just look at how comfortable the backline of Wimini, Agbesima, and Pedu, and co have been. They've solidly be, literally be on a holiday in the first 45 because Medeama are not really threatening. The likes of Usa Bernardino, Tete, and co are not really taking the game to them. At this point, they need to start taking risk. It's important because Hartlepool are going in confidence, and their second half, has improved over the last couple of games they've played. They are really, really improving. So at this point, Medeama should be thinking of how to punish them. If not, the way Hearts of Oak are playing, if they get a first goal, it will be very, very dangerous.
Francis, for Medeama themselves, you can see that they are trying to go with a wing play, and a lot of action has happened down the left-hand side of their defense and even their attack, where Fatah Sulemana seemed to always want to get on the byline and put a cross in for the likes of Bernardino Tete. But Hearts of Oak have been able to deal with that. Everything that has been thrown into the box, apart from the first few minutes where they were a bit shaky with the crosses that are coming to their box, they've been able to deal with all the crosses that have come in there.
Yeah, if you look at the Hearts of Oak centre back, Opon Afrani and Kofi Agbesima, they have height, they have composure, and they are not the kind of centre backs that don't talk. They communicate properly. It's only on one occasion that the Medeama guys, Michael Eno took a long shot, which the goalkeeper dealt with. Aside that, they've not really posed any proper threat. They've been reduced to half chances. And Osa Bernardino is the one that carried some of those half chances to the Hearts of Oak faithful. But one thing that Hearts of Oak have done is they've managed to get enough bodies behind the ball whenever Medeama has the ball. So for Medeama to be able to break through the Hearts of Oak defensive setup, they've got to play the ball quicker. In terms of transitioning, they have to have someone that can dictate the tempo of the game and play long passes across the defensive line. And the strikers have to be alert to be able to pick those balls in the pocket of spaces that will be left behind. Because in that first 45 minutes, the team shape of Hearts of Oak hasn't been breached because they've been disciplined enough to play to the tactical distance from the coach. So for this team, if you look at Daniel Omote, Michael Enu, and then Bernardino, they have to be switched on, and they need to be alert in what happens around them, because Hearts of Oak basically have put every single player of the Medeama team in check. And when it happens like that, it will be extremely tough. So unless they vary the tactics, I don't see the way they will be able to break this Hearts of Oak team down this afternoon.
Josiah, is the first half a testament of why Medeama are struggling to score goals? Because you look at the offensive players that they have, the likes of Bernardino, and they are not really doing much, especially when they get to the final third.
I wouldn't say it's something that has been synonymous with Medeama in recent times. They've been able to get goals, in some of the games they've played prior to this one. But then, it's about the setup from Hearts of Oak. They are really stretching the game. They are stretching the Medeama team, and the Medeama team are trying, they are having a difficult trying to cope with the way Hearts of Oak have set up. And you can see the way they try to build up from the back with Ampedu and co. It's so seamless and so easy. The likes of Utanga, Linda dropping, and then even sometimes you have Salif Ibrahim also dropping. For Medeama, you say yes, they are not scoring, but then ask yourself, have they been that convincing in the attacking third? It's something they've been missing. They've not really been convinced. They've not convinced me that they even deserve to score a goal in this particular game. Yes, they've had their moments. They've had some decent half chances, but then the general gameplay, they've not really convinced me. And you mentioned right. You have Godfred, Aban, Daniel Lomoto, Bernardino Usatete, who is the most, I think, dependent on. He's the player who the Medeama team will be thinking, see, this is the player to conjure the magic for us. Maybe in the absence of Derek Forger, we have Bernardino Osatete, who is very direct, knows how to dribble, knows how to take on players, and so on. And then also Sidibe over the leading the attack for Medeama. They've not really been convincing, and Hearts of Oak, let's give credit to them.
You mentioned Derek Forger. Are they missing him in this one?
Of course they are, and we know the skill set. This guy possesses, a wide range of skill sets. He just knows how to, take on players. And he has this lovely trademark dribble where he tries to, fake to the right, then cut into the left. And he always draws defenders out of position with that. And today they are missing, because I can just imagine Bernardino attacking from one end of the field and then Forger also attacking from the other end. It means that if you're a striker, all you need to work on is your positioning in the box, and it will be very easy for you to score.
Francis, is it time for Coach Abubakar Ouattara to dip his hand into the substitute pot, or you think he should give this team some 10 to 15 minutes in the second half to really see what they come up with? Because he has the likes of Gideon Asante-Yeboah on the bench, Shura Seidu, Martin Kakari, Enoch Subontin, Cisse is on the bench, Salim Kashala Ramos, a lot of attacking talent on the bench for Hearts of Oak.
Yeah, if it's not broken, then you don't try to fix it. I think he should let these players come back into the second half, play up to like 65th, 70th minute. If it's not working, then you should go for route one, where you see you would love to bring in Cisse because he's tall. He definitely, Hamza Issa would love to play off his shoulders because he's knocked down. His link-up play is better than Hamza Issa in terms of how he hold the ball and drag people into position. So probably if this is not working, then he has to go long. And when he has to go long, players like Salif Ibrahim need to find them at pinpoint accuracy. With that, they can cause problem. But for now, I don't think they should rush or hurry any substitution because you are playing an away game against Medeama, the defending champions. And as of now, you manage to put them in check. So continue to stretch the game on the wings. Try to carve out decent chances for the striker. And the striker himself should know that premium chances will not come at ease in this game. The few ones that he will get, he should be at his lead out there to put it away. That's the only way Hatoful can win this game.
Josiah, for Neboja Kapo, he also has some ammunitions on the bench. God knows Jakpasu, the midfielder, is there. Then they have someone who has proven before that he can score goals, but this time he is finding it difficult to put balls at the back of the net. Diarisi Taylor, you think he should be given an opportunity in such a huge game?
Yeah, of course. You look at the profile of the players you've mentioned. Mutala, these are at some point very clinical, finishers you've mentioned. For God knows Jakpasu, we saw his quality when he played, for Tamale City. There's a player, a very, very good offensive midfielder who has an eye for a good pass and also an eye for goal. I just believe one thing that Medeama should be working on
which is
life after Jonathan Tua.
It's not that easy,
It's not that easy, but then that's the transition stage. And unfortunately for them, they have to do it in the course of the season. They do not have preseason to try and change the whole system, and build it around either Bernardino Sachete, Derek Fojo, or even Diarisi Taylor, who is their latest signing. They just have to try and cope with it. You should know the player or the striker you are playing to or with. You should know the kind of balls they want. You look at Hamza Issa, and I said it, that I wouldn't expect Glade Otanga, Winnie and Agbesima to be flying long balls to Hamza Issa because he doesn't have that height to win the duels. So you look at the profile of the striker and you play to the strength of the striker. And for Diarisi Taylor, I believe, he's a poacher. He's a target man. He's someone who knows how to play with his back facing what? Goal. So it's all about trying to play alongside him, and I believe they'll get the goals.
Of course, so the second half is about to start, but we are having signal challenges from the Akun Park in Takwa, and that is these are live pictures from there. The quality seems to have dropped a bit because of the signal challenges that we are having, but let's go there for the second half.
It's taken by God knows Jatasu. Evans Aduma also comes in for Lomote. Here is Kobna Amwa. Now, Kofi Asma. Mamadou. Ball had crossed the line before. Bernardino Tete had a touch